Hello, I am Pramod Kumar and today our subject is accountancy. Our chapter is accounting ratios and we have divided this chapter in 6 parts. 3 parts we have already covered in previous videos and this is the 4th part. In the 4th part we will discuss solvency ratios, right? So we need to know 3 things. What is solvency ratio? Right? Why do we need it? And third, how to calculate it? Right? We need to know only 3 things. What is solvency ratio? Why do we need it? And how to calculate it? That's all. So we'll discuss what is solvency ratio. Right? Lenders of long-term debt, lenders who have extended long-term debt to various companies, they are interested in what they are interested in, that they keep on receiving their interest and installments of loans extended by them in time and it is finished by the end of the loan period, right? Lenders of long-term loans are interested in receiving interest and installment in time so that the loan is fully repaid to them by the end of the loan period. So, solvency ratio determine ability of a business to service its debt in time, right? Solvency ratios determine ability of an enterprise to service its debt in the long run or whatever, whenever it is decided to be repaid. For this, for solvency ratio, arriving at solvency of a company enterprise, 5 different kinds of ratios are there. They are debt equity ratio, debt to capital employed ratio, proprietary ratio, total assets to debt ratio and interest coverage ratio, right? So we will go one by one. First one is debt equity ratio. Here I have written down one balance sheet of ABC Limited as on 31/3/19 just so that we can solve all those 5 based on this. So this will remain all through the video, right? So first one is debt equity ratio. First one we want to know what it is. What is debt equity ratio? Debt equity ratio measures relationships between long-term debt and equity, right? Debt equity ratio measures relationship between long-term debt and equity. Very simple. Then if debt component of long-term funds employed, if debt component of long-term funds employed is a small, then what happens? It gives a lot of comfort to the long-term lenders. See, suppose if debt component of long-term funds, suppose long-term funds deployed is 1 lakh rupees total, right? Out of this, long-term debt is 70,000 rupees. So any long-term lender will be very cautious, will be very concerned that total long-term funds are 1 lakh rupees and out of that long-term debt is 70,000 rupees, means 70%. It indicates slightly higher level of long-term debt, right? So once again, debt equity ratio measures relationships between long-term debt and equity of the enterprise. If debt component, as we discussed here, if debt component of long-term funds employed, this is the long-term funds employed, and this is long term debt, long term funds employed, long term debt. If debt component of long term funds employed is small, outsiders feel more comfortable, more secure that their loan is not at a very great risk. One scenario is this. Another scenario could be this. This position will give lot of comfort to the long-term lender, but this position will give lot of discomfort to the long-term lender. They will feel insecure here and they will feel secure here, right? Because long-term debt forms only 30% of the long-term funds employed, whereas here it is 70%, very high percentage, right? It reduces chances of bankruptcy, right? The higher this goes, long-term debt component in the long-term funds employed, the higher the ratio of this, the higher the chances of bankruptcy of the enterprise. The lower is this, long-term debt component out of the total long-term funds employed, the lower are the chances of the bankruptcy of the enterprise, right? So, now we will calculate based upon this, right? So, the formula for debt equity ratio is very simple. Long-term debt upon shareholders' funds. Shareholders' funds. So, what is long-term debt here? It's very clear. Long-term borrowing 1,50,000. 1,50,000 upon shareholders' funds. Share capital plus reserves and surplus 5 lakhs. Right? So what do we get here? 0.30 is to 1. Right? Debt equity ratio, long term debt divided by shareholders funds. Long term borrowing is 1,50,000 upon shareholders fund, share capital plus reserves and surplus 4 plus 1 5 lakhs. So it comes to 0.30 to 1. Means if total long term funds employed is 1 rupee, out of that long term debt is only 30 paise. Right? This is long term debt and this is shareholders funds. Right? So it is like this. Now a low debt equity ratio, suppose this is not 1,50,000, this is 3,50,000. Hypothetically, long term debt is 3,50,000 and shareholders funds is 5 lakhs. So what happens? What do we get? 0.70 to 1. Right? So it is a very high level of long term debt vis-a-vis shareholders funds, very high level. This will give lot of comfort, sense of security to the long term lender. This scenario will give lot of discomfort, sense of insecurity to the long term lender, right? So we have learned what is debt equity ratio, how it is calculated. Now we go to the second solvency ratio. Second solvency ratio is debt to capital employed ratio. Debt to capital employed. This is the second ratio, debt to capital employed. So what is capital employed? What is capital employed? Debt to capital employed ratio Debt to capital employed ratio, it is very simple. Long term debt upon capital employed or net assets. Debt to capital employed ratio, it refers to ratio of long term debt to total of external and internal funds. Right? Once again, debt to capital employed ratio refers to ratio of long term debt to total of external and internal funds, means capital employed or net assets. So suppose this is the balance sheet. What is the net asset? It's very simple. Total assets are 7 lakh. If you reduce current liabilities out of that, then you get net assets, right? So here current liabilities are 50,000. So net assets are 6,50,000, right? Once again, debt to capital employed ratio, the ratio is calculated as long term debt upon capital employed or net assets. Capital employed or net assets, right? So what is long term debt? Long term debt is 1,50,000. And what is total capital employed? As we have already discussed, total capital employed or net assets is equal to total assets minus current liabilities. 7 lakhs minus 50,000. So 6,50,000 is equal to, it will be around 65 to 150. No, 6,50,000. Yes, 1,50,000. So this will go, this will go. So 0.23 is to 1, right? So long term debt to net assets is 0.23 to 1, right? So it shows, what does it indicate? What does it indicate? It shows proportion of long term debt, proportion of long term debt in capital employed, right? So what is the capital employed? 7 lakhs minus current liability 6,50,000. So what is the proportion of long term debt in total capital employed or net assets? So out of 6,50,000, 1,50,000 is the long term debt. So it is 0.23 to 1. If net assets are 1, long term debt is 0.23. So this is how it is calculated. And debt to capital employed ratio refers to ratio of long term debt to capital employed or net assets, right? So we have seen 2 ratios. Now we will see third ratio. And what is the third ratio? That is proprietary ratio, right? Proprietary ratio. That is very simple. Shareholders' funds upon capital employed or net assets, right? What is proprietary ratio? First we should know what it is. A proprietary ratio shows relationship of proprietor's own funds to net assets, right? proprietor's own funds. So the formula will be shareholders funds upon what we have discussed. It refers to relationship of proprietor's own funds, shareholders funds, to net assets, right? And what are the net assets here? What are the shareholders funds? Shareholders funds are 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs divided by net assets. We have already discussed net assets, total assets minus current liabilities. So 6,50,000, right? So how do we get it? So it will come to 0.769 is to 1. Since it is ratio, we are writing it like this. So here, what do we see? Proprietary ratio is equal to shareholders funds divided by net assets. So shareholders funds 4 lakhs and 1 lakh 5 lakhs divided by net assets. Net assets, as we know, total assets minus current liability, 6,50,000. So the ratio comes to 0.769 or 0.77 to 1. So what does it indicate? A higher proportion of shareholder funds in financing assets, a higher proportion of this in financing assets is a positive feature, as it provides sense of security to creditors. So here you will find, if the net assets are 1, shareholders funds are 0.77, means a very high level of shareholders funds are there in the net assets. Out of total net assets, around 77% is contributed out of shareholders funds. Suppose another position we take it, this is 5 lakhs, this is 6 point, let us take it is only 1,30,000, right? What is 1,30,000? Shareholders funds. So what do we get here? 0.20 to 1. It means very low level of shareholders funds is there in net assets, right? In total net assets, the contribution of shareholders funds is only 20%. So this low percentage gives lot of discomfort to the creditors. This one gives lot of sense of security, comfort to the creditors, because of out of every 1 rupee of net assets, 77 paise are contributed from shareholders funds, owners funds, right? So now we will go to the fourth ratio. And the fourth ratio is total assets to debt ratio. Total assets to debt, right? So total assets to debt ratio, what it is? Total assets to debt ratio, it measures extent of coverage of long-term debt by assets. Total assets to debt. Total assets to debt. It's very clear. Definition lies here only, right? It measures extent of coverage of long-term debt extent of coverage of long term debt by assets. To what extent long term debt is covered by assets, and the ratio is calculated as total assets. Ratio is calculated as total assets upon long term debt, right? So here how do we calculate it? Total assets. What are total assets? 7 lakhs upon what is the long term debt? 1,50,000, right? So what do we get here? 15 upon 70. We get 4.66 to 1. Means if long term debt is 1, total assets are 4.66. So a high ratio gives lot of comfort and sense of security to the creditor. Whereas suppose we take another instance, total assets is 7 lakhs and long term debt is 3.5 lakhs, 3,50,000. So what do we get here? 2:1, right? If total assets are 2, then long term debt is 1. So as compared to this gives very high sense of security, comfort to the creditor, whereas this gives, as compared to this, much lower level of comfort and security to the creditors, because against the total assets of 7 lakhs, here long term debt is only 1,50,000, whereas in this case against total assets of 7 lakhs, long term debt is 3,50,000, right? So the higher this ratio is there, the more comfort and more security the lenders, creditors feel, right? Total assets to debt ratio. It can also be calculated, this ratio can also be calculated as shareholders funds. What did we get here? Total assets to debt. Here total assets to debt. Suppose it can also be calculated as no, that is okay, right? This is okay. This we should not calculate through any other means. So we have learned the fourth formula also. Now we are going to the fifth solvency ratio, and that is interest coverage ratio, right? That is called interest coverage ratio. Now what is this? What is interest coverage ratio? Interest coverage ratio deals with servicing of interest on loan, right? Means the enterprise, how many times of interest obligation on long term loan it is generating by way of net profit before interest and tax, right? Interest coverage ratio. Suppose ABC Limited, long term debt interest is 1 lakh rupees, right? And net profit before interest and tax, net profit before interest and tax is 5 lakhs rupees. So it means ABC Limited, it is having interest coverage ratio of 5 times. Whatever long term debt interest obligation is there, it is able to generate 5 times by way of net profit before interest and tax. So the higher this ratio, the more comfort it gives to the creditors. They feel more secure, more comfortable that even during difficulties, their interest will be easily served. Now, let us take another example. Long-term debt interest is the same. Long-term debt interest is rupees 1 lakh and net profit before interest and tax is 1,50,000. So what is happening here? ABC Limited is generating net profit before tax and interest of only 1,50,000, whereas long-term debt interest liability is 1 lakh. So it is generating only 1.5 times of what is required. So this scenario will give lot of discomfort, inconvenience, lack of security to the creditors, because if any unforeseen problem comes, they may find it very difficult to get their interest serviced. If any unforeseen circumstance comes, it will further go down, and there could be a likelihood that ABC Limited is not able to generate even enough to pay long-term debt interest, right? But here, lot of cushion is there. Even if something goes wrong, this ratio may go from 5:1 to 4:1, 3.5:1, 3:1. So the creditors will be feeling secured, comfortable. But here, they will not feel that comfortable, that secured, because anything going wrong, this may harm their prospects of recovering their even interest. Even interest servicing may be difficult, right? So interest coverage ratio we have, it deals with servicing of interest on loan. It is a measure of security of interest payable on long term debt. Measure of security of interest payable on long term debt. It expresses relationship between profits available for payment of interest and amount of interest payable, right? It reveals number of times, this ratio reveals number of times interest on long term debts is covered by profits available for interest. Higher the ratio, the more it ensures the safety of interest on debt. The higher the ratio, the more it ensures safety of interest on debts, right? So we have discussed all the 5 ratios in solvency ratio. Now we will take 2 minutes to wind it up, right? Long-term lenders of the long-term debt are interested in timely repayment of their principal and interest by the end of the loan period. Solvency ratios, they measure relationship. Solvency ratio determine ability of the business to service its debt in the long run, right? For this, 5 kinds of ratios we have discussed: debt equity ratio, debt to capital employed ratio, proprietary ratio, total assets to debt ratio, and interest coverage ratio. Debt equity ratio, it measures relationships between long term debt and equity. If debt component of long-term funds employed is small, outsiders or creditors feel more secure, more comfortable in lending to the enterprise. It reduces chances of bankruptcy. Lower debt equity ratio reduces chances of bankruptcy. And the formula is long-term debt upon shareholders' funds. A low debt equity ratio reflects more security, more comfort to the creditors. Second one is debt to capital employed ratio. It refers to ratio of long-term debt to total of external and internal funds, means capital employed or net assets. Net assets we have discussed, total assets minus current liability, right? Third one is proprietary ratio. It shows relationship of proprietor funds, shareholder funds to net assets. Shareholder funds divided by capital employed or net assets. Total assets to debt ratio is total assets divided by long-term debt. Interest coverage ratio is net profit before tax and interest upon interest on long-term debts. I hope you found it easy to understand. In case of any difficulty, you may please approach me on my email ID, which will be there at the thumbnail to the video. Thank you very much.